let's get back into this, man.
Let's
get back into this. We were actually talking about your first album, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, the first album was Nasty Boy Click. That was a collaboration album, one of those albums that just features different artists. We had a bunch of different artists, like we had a cat named Buki Loke, a guy named Double A Ron, and then we had Little Mischief G. Then we had Los, myself, Zigzag, MC Magic. So it was a bunch of different people that were part of the different collaboration. And so that was kind of like something that was coming out of Nasty Boy Records. So it was kind of like the click. Things kind of went, you know how it is with groups and stuff like that. People just are like, well, I want to kind of do this, I want to do this. So everybody had a different type of thing. So we kind of shaved it down to about 4 people. So it was myself, Dos, MC Magic, and a cat named Double A Ron. So after that, um, the label decided to kind of take over Nasty Boy Click, and we did a second album called The Second Coming, which was a great album. It's one of those ones that had been slept on for a very long time. So if you're not familiar with it, that's the one that had Lost in Love, Perfect. I'm sorry, not Perfect. Yeah, Perfect Man, Panties Dropping, a bunch of different songs that were dope on that record. That's what kind of introduced us to going to Texas. So and Corpus, I think that was one of the first times we went to Corpus was because of that record. Then we transitioned into MB Riders, which we were talking about earlier. The first album that we were putting out as MB Riders was Invasion, which happened to happen on the day 9/11. So for the people that didn't hear that story, it was a record that me and my brothers did, and it happened to come out on the day that 9/11 happened, and the album was called Invasion. So prior to that, the label put a lot of money in the marketing and the commercials, different things like that, and they were like, the invasion's coming, MB Riders, MB Riders. And then that was the day that the planes hit the towers, and of course that was a very more important thing. But at the same time, I think it helped us because I think the mood changed after 9/11. People wanted to feel good. People wanted to forget about the pain and the hurt that was going on with that situation. And I think MB Riders delivered that type of music that kind of settled that. You got anything else?
No, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a coincidence that it happened that day. But for us to be connected to the universe like that was a weird thing, man. And then for the album to be called Invasion, it was almost scary. It was weird.
That's kind of eerie, man. To tell you the truth, man.
Yeah, because we were literally on our way to the to the radio station to drop the album, and we had a big old campaign. Like I said, it was already being announced. The day's coming, the day 9/11, 9/11. And then all of a sudden that tragedy happens, and then you're kind of like part of history for a minute and connected to it, which that was a way bigger thing, of course. But for us to be part of that, in a sense, that's the eerie part.
Yeah, I can only imagine that, man. What were some of the best places, man, that you like to perform at?
Oh, right now, Odessa, Texas. He likes to go to Odessa. What? You know what it is? It's the hospitality and the people that come out from there, man. We did a show at is it the Enco Theater?
Hector Theater, something like that, or Hector.
Yeah, it's called the Ecto Theater. It's a real popular theater. It's been out there for years and years and years. And MB Riders, along with a couple other artists, we were able to sell that out at capacity. And the last person to do it was Elvis Presley, bro. That's how far it went back. That's how many numbers we brought into that house that night.
So they should have left they recognize us for that.
Yeah, they still recognize us on their website. And then the one thing that happened after that was the city got involved, and they were like, man, you guys did such a great job here. Can we hire you guys for our 4th of July festival?" And man, let me tell you, the whole city came out for that festival, bro. And it was 18,000. 18,000 people came out, man. I don't, and it's funny because I think they had like a 10-minute fireworks show, and then the rest was us. But one of my favorite places to actually perform is, well, there's two places. There's Hawaii, because not everybody gets a chance to go out there, especially to perform and do music. But home is always a place. It's but then it's a sweet and bitter thing, because then you got the people that maybe that want to see you fail. You know how it is in your hometown. People want to just see you fail sometimes, and so we go against that. But what I've noticed is, if MB Riders is put on a big bill, or we're put on with the right type of promotion, then the city comes out, man. Real talk. Like Arizona comes out. We did the Arizona State Fair, and I think we broke a record there too.
Man. Yeah, that's what's up. Hell yeah.
We hold the record in Tucson.
Yeah, in Tucson, we hold a record. 60,000 people got a party.
Already, College Town too, shit. Hell yeah.
I already know that shit.
I wanted a crowd search that day, bro, but I got lost.
What was your experience like recording MBWriters.com?
Ooh. I guess it's different for everybody, because the thing about MB Riders is you get 3 different perspectives. You got MC Magic, which was the older, he was 10 years older than us. So he had experience a little bit in the music game, and he kind of had a monotone rap, like Mace.
Yeah.
Had that like a monotone type of voice. I think that's what Magic had, and then he wrote from an old school point of view. As for Los, he has that voice that is kind of like if he's whispering in your ear and talking to you. You know how them players get by the girl and they be like, "Hey, girl," that's Los, bro. He comes with that smooth. And for myself, I feel like I'm kind of like the busy bone of the group. I got a little bit of a higher pitched voice. I sing a little bit. So we all added a different type of element to each different song. And then we all lived 3 different types of lives, 3 different worlds. You know what I'm saying? Like Marco, he was all about his business, and trying to elevate the group, as much as what we were trying to do is make the group sound dope. Like, because we were all different artists. So a little bit of my background is more hip hop, battle rapping. I brought the street element kind of into it. Then Los has both of it. He has an R&B background and also a street. So it's kind of like a collage of that. So I would say kind of like Fabulous. Fabulous has that to me. He has that street, but yet it's still, he can spit for the ladies. Then you got Magic, who was a lover boy. So all he was just ladies, ladies, ladies. So, that's what he was about. So it's kind of like a fusion. And when we made MBWriters.com, man, I think that was a big part of our lives, brother, because we were really living those records. Pretty Girl, Runaway. I'm sorry, Runaway wasn't on that one. That was on the base. But Pretty Girl, Soulfly.
To us here, because that's all we heard on the Z95.
Yeah, that's whenever y'all were banging like hard over here.
Especially over here, real hard. Like it wouldn't even have to be
Man,
Love Island where y'all were getting played like real tough.
Man, shout out to Ed O'Connor. He's the one that really opened up the door for us in them areas for our music to be heard. See, because the one thing that you got to understand is when labels put out music, it's a gamble even on them. They put it out. They don't know that it's going to register with the fans.
Yeah.
I think what happened was we were able to get both parts of it, because Upstairs Records had a monster radio team. Joe Lopez was going in there and getting records played. She was not just known for MB Riders. She was known for Amanda Perez, for Little Rob, Big Gemini Records, Hypnotize. So she was working these records, and I think that was another thing, having a good relationship with radio. And we went and did a couple festivals in Corpus, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, the first club that we did over there was A.B. Quintanilla's first club that he opened.
Yes, A.B. Quintanilla opened up a nightclub, his first nightclub, and Nasty Boy Click was actually the first group that he hired to come out there.
Was it the
And
one
I just remember meeting the
One that
family.
was downtown, right? The Panaluna? I think that was.
I didn't hear you. What?
Planet Luna, downtown Corpus Christi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, really?
That's how far we go back, Pimpin'.
Yeah. And see, when that's like, man, that's me being a kid riding around in the car with my parents and Z95. That's all they was just straight banging, especially late night. That's all they gonna play it all night type shit, man. And that's what's up, man. Hell yeah.
You know, when we made those records, I think it came from a place of vulnerability, man, because like we really, well, first of all, we all wrote our own records. So a lot of people have this conception that maybe we were in the studio all together thinking, oh, no, let's do this, let's do this. No, I think that the separation is what made the group. Magic would usually come up with a concept or something, or another producer would hand us a beat. And you know, the one that was doing the engineering was Magic. So, but then I'd get the song emailed to me or get it, you know, at the time we had cassettes and we had, you know, CDs. So I'd get a CD of beats and then be like, oh, you go right to this. Same thing with Os. He would get in his element where he was at. I'd get in my element. I'd probably be puffing, riding high and writing all my verses, man. And then when we get in the studio, that's why it sounds like three different people, but it comes together. Like when you listen to the song "So Fly," okay, my interpretation of that song was, I'm in town for one night. But the way I took it was, yeah, I'm in town for one night. But see, the way I took it was this. Well, imagine if you really loved your girl, you just maybe you just got married, maybe you just had a kid, and you only get one night to spend with your loved one. So I was like, I've been on the road and away from home, but I've been fiending for you. You see what I'm saying? Like I've been wanting to be with my girl. So it was kind of like I didn't want to just take that element of, oh, let's make it easy. I wanted to be clever. And then those came in with the freaky dicky shit at the end. And you know, what was your favorite song on the SoundCloud?
It's So Fly.
So Fly. I think So Fly because of the fact that it was when the fellas started liking us.
Yeah.
Because I think before then it was Runaway, Lost in Love, a couple other songs, Down for Yours, but it was more towards the ladies. And then when So Fly came in, I think it was like it registered with the fellas. They were like, "Oh, that's some player shit."
Yeah.
And then it went. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then to me, Pretty Girl is like almost a 21 Questions type of record. It's up tempo. It's got that little bit of hard, you know, the beat's kind of hard. Something about you, babe. It's up tempo R&B. So I feel like that started kind of going into where we were starting to say, okay, the fellas are starting to dig it now. Because before it would be like, oh, it's just lovey-dovey stuff, man. Oh, these guys are kind of like a boy band. These guys, you know, that's the type of music they do. But then when you really listen to the albums, there was all kinds of different varieties, brother. That's the thing that I think we don't do anymore, is that we don't make albums that tell stories, that have different elements. Like we had street stuff in there, club stuff. We had stuff like, you know, battle rapping. We had different stuff, but then the stuff that was getting promoted were the singles, like the Lost in Loves and the Runaways and all these. So it was kind of like a battle of youth, because we were still young and we were still in the streets.
Well, that's
so it was
what I
kind
wanted
of
to
like,
ask you too. What are some of like the obstacles that y'all like face coming up like in the game?
Obstacles.
Again, I think the obstacles are like everybody, brother. The drugs, the gangs, the fast life, man. Like we all lived it, but yet
So
we
y'all try to
still,
juggle both the music and the streets at the same time in the beginning type shit.
yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah, in the beginning, and family, you know,
Oh,
having
really?
kids, and
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
so
Hey,
I
so
think
how would you?
that was the struggle of believing in ourselves, but at the same time being able to say, "Dang," you know, because like once once everything started happening, it got a little easier, but then there was different obstacles.
Oh,
You see what
really?
I'm saying? Because once you start getting famous and people know you, then there's an expectation of you. So they got this expectation of you, and if you don't meet that expectation, you can lose a fan. So I think that's what happened for us was that at that time we just wanted to be cool, being able to, you know, sit back and take pictures with the youngsters at our shows and fans. You know, it's just staying relevant, brother. You know.
Yeah. Hey, so how would you say your music changed from MC Magic to what it is now?
Well, when we started, like, we were going to more street. It was all about the street, really. And once in a while, I would come out with more of a ladies type of music, like, kind of like a Keith Sweat type of vibe. And it just pretty much like what you're growing, and that's what, that's what comes out of you when you're writing. But once we got with Magic, that's when we started learning, okay, why don't we try this for the ladies and how to format it and how to put it together and just how to create that sound.
Okay, I'll give you the perfect analogy right here, brother. Okay, when you listen to the Lost in Love record, right?
Yeah.
That's like an MC Magic vibe. That's his vibe, right?
Yeah.
And then Down for Yours, that happened to be Dos's vibe because that happened to be his personal record when he presented it to Magic. It wasn't like for an album. We were just going to a studio and recording music, and
Yeah.
we had a couple other people on the record. So Dos, he brought the idea to the table because the thing between him and Magic was they're both still R&B influenced. I didn't get into R&B until Jodeci came out
Oh,
because
really?
to me Jodeci was like the player shit. It was more like I'm trying to, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm not trying to love and dub you no more. I want a little bit more hood. So that Jodeci and different, you know, the artists that came out after that was what I was listening to. So that's the thing that with Dos and Magic, they had an R&B background, and Dos comes up with great concepts. So when he came up with the Down for Yours, If You Down for Mine, it just went. But the thing was, there would be times where, you know, okay, I don't know if you guys have ever done music, but I know when you guys are in the studio, there's always that one dude that might be good for a couple lines, but then he'll say something stupid and corny at the end, and you
Yeah.
got to kind of tell him, well, I'm not trying to bag the homie, but Magic was that guy. He would say something so corny at the end, we'd be like, no, dog, you got to change it to this because it sounds a little bit better. It don't sound as corny. And then he would take some of them ideas and be like, oh, okay, cool. So we were always helping each other. So at that time, it wasn't Down for Yours, If You're Down for Mine. It was called Let's Get Down to Some Cuddle Time. So Cuddle Time, Down for Yours. I mean, you got to see, you see
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
difference? Down for Yours sounds a little bit more hoodie, but yet it's kind of like when Ja Rule and Ashanti were making music. It had that street appeal, but yet it had that R&B feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we sparked them. I really think that MB Riders and Nasty Boy Click sparked that.
I'm gonna tell you a true story. True story. It was
Real talk.
it was in Amarillo, and
Alabama or something.
no, it was Amarillo, Texas, and Nelly was there at the time,
Nelly, the
the
rapper,
rapper, and
he was there at the radio station.
and at the time he was gonna do an interview, and the countdown was on, and Runaway was number one,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Hey, who's that?" That's who we were. Oh, this is a group called Angry Riders. He goes, "Let me hear it." They played it again. And then the next thing you know, Dilemma came out. So it's like kind of, it was kind of like an inspiration, you know what I'm saying? But and that's what the DJ told us from the.
He couldn't fathom that an independent label was #1 on that station. And he was like, I've never heard of these guys. How are they #1? And then he heard the melody. He heard how the girl was singing and there was a rapper. And then all of a sudden, here comes Kelly Rowland and him with Dilemma. And then it's the pretty little bells. It's the melodies. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I think artists do that all the time. I think artists that are big take from the small fries in a sense. But we happen to not be maybe a small fry business, but our music was speaking. And I think we kind of honestly, I think we changed a little bit of the environment of music for a minute. MB Riders did something to where it was cool to rap about the girls again.
Yeah.
Kind of like when LL did the I Need Love, but yet it kind of went a little further. It kind of went to where, man, now the guys are liking it, like the fellas feel it too, not just the ladies. And that's the best part of it, man. That when you can get the best of both worlds, because not everybody does that. Like Pac was the best example of getting both worlds.
Yeah.
You know, the women loved him and the men wanted to be him.
Yeah, that's true.
The big slow songs. We were actually we were on tour, and Pitbull was on our tour at that time. And when he was done, I guess they wasn't that finished. You know, he's very blunt, very straight up. He goes, who in the fuck are you guys? Who the fuck is that out there? I'm like, what do you think? He goes, the last one goes, they fucking know every song of yours, man. What the like surprise, you know? But giving us our props at the same time. And I can't because these are slow songs. You got all these dudes with the girls and singing these songs. That's an amazing thing too, you know, itself. So for us to do that and actually, you know, sometimes a lot of dudes want to admit that they like MV Writers. You know, they're feeling it.
You know what? It's a choice of timing.
Yeah.
The guys, they'll jam it because the girl wants to hear it, and sometimes the fella, he don't know how to communicate to the woman in a certain way. Like today, I had a guy call me on Facebook Live, and on Facebook Messenger, and he was going through some problems with his lady. He's my friend of mine. I gave him some advice, but that was the one thing I was telling him was like, look, homie, the way you are with your girl and putting, because he wants me to write a song for him. That's what he was trying to do. He was like, hey, bro, I want you to write a song. I'm trying to get my girl back. And I said, bro, you don't understand what it takes to get into that mode. I got to go back in my head and think about the time that I hurt the girl and that I got to do this. Because what you're getting when you get the MB Riders music is the honesty. Like, we're not afraid to say something that maybe the ego of a man is like, I don't know if I want to say that because I'm a man. It did hurt, but I'm not going to let you know how much it hurt. So I'm going to be able to explain it because I've been through it.
Yeah.
I went through that. I went through the heartbreak, the cheating, and getting cheated on, and the whole nine. So I can write from that experience. And when you write from that experience, you relate. When you relate, people listen. And when people listen, they live to it. See how it all formed? And then that's why you wonder when you come to our show, the whole show, they're singing the whole songs, every freaking song, because they live to it. Because we put them in that moment. Like our lives were writing in a notebook because at the time, we didn't really write on our phones and stuff. So we were writing in notebooks. We didn't know these were going to be. We never knew that, bro. Nobody knows that. That's like a lottery ticket. You buy a ticket, you hope to win. And we're here on Riding High, man. We're here on your podcast, brother. Your guys' your guys' platform, and thank you guys for having us. Because not everybody gets a chance to hear this story.
Yeah,
Our story is a
yeah,
movie, bro.
Thank y'all, man. Really, honestly, man, y'all are doing
yeah.
like really, honestly, man. Like here in Corpus, man, y'all are like a real big. Y'all said y'all raised us over here, man. Y'all are always on the radio over here. Your music is a part of our lives over here. You know
Still gets played.
Still
Over
gets
here.
played.
The classics from back in the day still are played.
My homie Alex over here singing it right now.
At 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't the dude that's coming on at 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's culture like that. Wow, that's dope.
Nah, it's facts though, man. All right, let me ask you this, man. What is one of y'all's favorite songs, man, to perform?
Our favorite songs to perform?
Yeah.
What's
What's
your
one of your
favorite
favorite
to
ones to
perform?
perform?
I just love our whole show because we have
It's gotta be a whole show.
so our chemistry is it's kind of like you see Busta Rhymes and what's his name?
No, so Split Star.
Still sorry. Even though they're more hype, me and Jay are the same way. I mean, it's just like it's just that we're like, you know what? We're two different people, two different lives. But when we're on stage, it's like we're one. You know what I'm saying? Without have to, you don't have to like practice. You don't have to. It's just automatically what goes on stage. It's like it's cool. It's like I guess the word magic. It just comes together, bro. And I think that's another thing that we've been blessed with. That we're on stage like we don't have to say, hey, you know, when I say this part, I want you to say that. It just automatically comes out, bro. It's just the things we say,
Yeah.
the humor we do. I mean, sometimes it's like a comedy show. You know what I'm saying? This guy jokes like for days.
I think what it is we like because when we first started going on the road, we were just testing the waters and saying, okay, let's just play the songs in one row. Okay, then what ended up happening were these DJs were trying to scratch and shit, and they were ending up messing our shows up. So I was like, man, I can't have that. So I got to start doing the shows individual, or they would try to push our time, and I'm like, dude, we're in one track, we can't push the time. So I started putting it different. So then strategically, we started thinking, okay, test. Right. We're going to Cali. Let's do a little remix of this right here. So we just started putting little different ideas. And then the one thing about us is our intro is big. It's like it just tells the story and then bang, it comes in. So it's like a roller coaster. We take you through your emotions. We take you. It's kind of like we do the introduction, kind of hype. Everything's all yeah. Then we take you back, and then all of a sudden, bam! We just slap you with a slow one, and you're just like what? And then we interact with the crowd. This is to us our bread and our what would you call like um our claim to fame is interacting with the fans. Because when we're on stage, every time before we go and perform a song, like I'll give you an example. We do the song Runaway, right?
Yeah.
So we'll go and look for the couples, and then we'll say some funny stuff about the couples. We'll be like, "Oh, you guys been together 20 years? Dang, I don't know how you do it, dog." And I'll say something funny, and then I'll be like, "Well, okay, who's got that beat?" People will go, "I got 30 years," So it becomes a thing, and then I'll be like, "All right, well, less than a year, in front of each other." And you know what I'm saying? Like that's real love. And then they'll start laughing and getting that interaction. And then all of a sudden you hit them a runaway. And then it's just like, oh shit. So I think our show speaks for itself. So that's the thing about if you say one song, I can't say one song, bro, because the excitement of every song is different.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that, man. I mean, I got a whole array of hits, man. I bet that's hard to go through. What is some of the craziest? What's one of the craziest things that happened on the
was
road,
trending on TikTok it was about 2 years ago. Runaway was trending on TikTok, and just to know that song means something to somebody is a beautiful moment, bro. Because that's one of those songs that people get married to, and dedicate their life and love to, and we've been able to perform at weddings and
I was gonna
quinceañeras.
ask you that. I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah, we've done some weddings, bro, and it's just an honor to be there I performance that myself has ever done was, there was a lady out of Denver, Colorado. Her name was Paulette. She was already passing of cancer. So they were having a kind of like a farewell birthday party because they knew this was going to be her last year. At the time, I was traveling kind of by myself, and she loved Nasty Boy Click and MB Riders, bro. And her sons had said, "Look, Mama, we'll bring you anybody you guys anybody you want. No, there's no money expense. We'll bring anybody. You want Brentwood? You want Zapp and Roger? You want anybody?" She said, I want MB Riders. And well, my homie's like, man, but I only know one of them. So he hit me up and was like, look, homie, I know your group's not together, but can you come to Mama Paulette's birthday party? And let me tell you, bro, that was so emotional because these guys are telling goodbye to their mom, bro. And I'm trying to perform Pretty Girl, and she's so happy. But she's sick. You can see it in her face, but she's so happy, bro. And I literally started crying, dog, because at the time I thought of my mom, but like I said, I'm not trying to make it too personal, but at the same time, to be in those environments where our music means a lot, it's dope, man. Like, what's your favorite, like, personal?
Mine was performing with my son.
Oh, yeah.
That was in Arizona. It was a sold-out show, but that's because he passed away already. He's not longer with us.
Weezy.
So, I mean, to me, that was just emotional. It was about six at the time, 6 years old. And it was already, like, on the bike. And it's something about having your kids and like coming with you. And knowing that, when I died, I done everything, and perform with my kids. That's the best gift of all.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Little Andrew, I'm around the world all the time, bro, and I see young talent all the time. But at 6 years old, this kid had the Bow Wow effect. He just had the looks, he had the blue eyes, he was a little güerito, and let me tell you, this boy could dance and he could rap on cue. And and when he performed, let me tell you, the whole place would light up, bro. We did one in El Paso, sold out show. The Yin Yang Twins came in after because we had gone on before them, and they came in and they saw our show, and they came in and they were tripping on little Andrew because he was playing with his little cars, and he had just rocked the stage with about 20,000 people, and he was just there playing with his cars, bro. And they were like, "Look at this little man. He just went and rocked 20,000 people, and it's nothing to him." That's who little Andrew was, bro. And I really believe there's an essence of that still with us. Because when they say people pass, bro, they become bigger. They become a spirit. So I do really believe that. I do believe his son. I do believe my mother are really with us on the road, bro. I really believe that those people that have passed that we love have kind of the reason why we've catapulted in the last few years. I'm a really strong believer of that, brother, because in the last 4 years, we've been able to accomplish more, just me and Dos, than we've ever done in our career. Having somebody as a label or having another older partner that sometimes what happens is this, brother. When the youth comes to you and they're naive, teach them how to get where you're at. Don't use their naiveness and don't use they're not smart or whatever you want to call it and run circles around them and use them. That's what we're products of. We were naive when we came into the game. We didn't know nothing about records and royalties and this and that and these things. And we just knew that we could rap. We made the song sound good, and we thought that we're all even. We're all equal. But then us growing up, we started seeing, okay, it isn't equal. And then you start wondering why, you start asking questions, and sometimes those questions ruffle feathers.
Yeah.
And when you ruffle those feathers, bro, you know, things don't always communicate right. So when people ask us why we're not together, it's just because everybody has a different thought pattern. Everybody has a different outcome of this group. It just happens to be that me and my partner Los, we've grown up together since high school. So we have this loyalty and camaraderie that is, it's just unfadable. So I always feel like MC Magic joined our group because we kind of, me and Los are kind of the same, but we're opposite. It's so weird. It's kind of like Kid and Play. You know how it just works?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Or Redman and Method Man. That's the perfect one, bro. Redman and Meth. Because we're both dope at what we do, but it's just we're different. And then I feel like Magic, he added something to the group that was just, it was good. It wasn't like we were mad at him or said, hey, you know, we don't want you part of this. We don't want this or that. It's just when you ask God to remove the things in your life that are trying to hold you back, or people that are hating, or people that don't love you, or people that are hurting or stealing from you, you'll be surprised how many people will be removed from your life, my homie. And it just happened to be that he was one of them. It's sad to say. I didn't ever want a separation because I don't think my brother even did either. I think we just wanted to be treated fairly. And when we asked for what we wanted, it just seemed like there was a problem. But we don't want to go into that because the thing is I don't want the fans to think, oh, you guys are fighting and you guys hate each other. No, it's not that. It's just brothers hurt each other sometimes. And sometimes they don't talk for a very long time. I think one day we might present ourselves to be able to talk. But right now, me and my boy Los are carrying on the legacy because we've been through so much of the highs and the ups and the lows, people stealing from us, people taking advantage of us, people trying to take the name from us, people trying to copyright the name by themselves, literally saying you can't perform the songs no more, you can't do shows anymore. Imagine if you built a career of 25 years, bro, and then somebody just said, nope, you can't do it anymore. I own Riding High now.
Yeah.
You would be angry, right? See, at the same time, you would stand up for yours. So when you see MB Riders, there's a narrative that we stole the name. No, we stood up for ourselves and fought back, and the name happened to land in our favor because of the fact that because you weren't able to do what you needed to do right. But at the end of the day, I wish the homie the best because, like I said, I think when it really comes to it, when you manifest things and say things out of your mouth, you got to watch what you say because what happens is you might manifest it. So when this person was saying, well, you know, it's MC Magic and the MB Riders, okay. So now you literally called us the MB Riders. Then we're the NB, we're the riders to your NB.
Yeah.
When we all get together, there's the real magic. It's not what the other narrative is being spoken. I don't know if you guys have seen any of those interviews where the other person is talking.
Yeah, I seen a couple of them. I wasn't like, I don't know, man. I know there's always two sides of the story, man, but I also saw one where y'all were speaking on y'all stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I understand exactly where y'all coming from as far as the publishing and all this other stuff. Business is fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I said, I understand completely, man. I really do. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
But this new music that we're doing outside of MB Riders, without all that, it's just a beautiful moment, bro. Because literally, like we went from thinking of the ideas to coming up with them to finding different sounds, and then all of a sudden Los was like, you know what, Zig, I think we need to fly in Ace One and Gemini and spend a week in the studio, bro. So boom, they did that, and we came out with the song. We came out with like 5 songs that week, But the one song that we really are pushing right now is a song called Trust. It's got a music video.
I like that one, man.
Thank you, brother. Grammy Award winning producer Ace One produced it. Big Gemini on the hook, and to be honest, it just felt so good to go and do everything, brother. To from the beginning of the record to the end of the music video. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then be able to present it, be able to push it to the fans that, and now we're finally getting all our fans, because for a lot of years we didn't have control of anything that had any but MB Riders on it. It all went to the other guy. So by default, he was winning. It's kind of like he hijacked all our fans and was like, "These are my fans. You ain't gonna have any." You know what I'm saying? And then we do the reunions, which open the can of worms to show, hey, it wasn't just, the way he presents it. It's, I did everything, I wrote everything. I'm MB Riders by myself. And then he comes out with MB Riders, the real MB Riders. Then the fans are like, oh, wait a minute. I remember it was 3 of you guys. So then from there, it just opened up that curiosity of, well, what happened to okay, we've heard your story for a long time, but what's their story?
Their story over here.
This was what messed up about this whole reunion stuff. It's like, when we're announced, you would say, yelling for MC Magic and the MB Riders. And when they called us out to that tour, that's how they were mentioning us, announcing us to the crowd. And then, now that people don't know, everybody would think, well, they're probably piggybacking in the back room, in the same room. No. There was an MB Riders room with some cold ass pizza just thrown on the table. When you go to MC Magic's room, there's grapes, sandía, all kinds of cool stuff in there and everything, right? That was his room. And they said, we're going to go sign autographs, right? Well, they said, let me give you some hush money. So you guys just go out there and sign autographs. But when we went out,
it was for the meet and greets.
That was for meet and greets. Yeah. But when we went out, even the regular fans, the stuff that we were signing, they all had his face on it. There was nothing of us. And then people say, hey, where's the MB Riders, merchandise? Like, he would stay quiet, he ignored it, and go somewhere else. And those are the stuff that we would have to deal with that people don't know about. And I mean, it's like you guys have the Ride Night tour, right? And only you only got merchandise with you, bro. And your homie, we're gonna sign my face, but not his. This is my show. That's how you treated us.
But I'm not even trying to defend my homie. Was he got accustomed to doing so many things for himself, and because I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a hustler, homie. Straight up, I got to give him props on that. He's always been a hustler. But the thing is, the thing is you gotta, when you're a crew, you hustle together. You don't out hustle your other homie, or you don't make moves to where you make your other homie look dumb. See what he kind of did, but because me and Los at the time, we were like, we're gonna put our pride to the side. We're gonna try to keep it going. So when he's saying that we were signing his merchandise, we really were. We were really signing his merchandise in order to just, let's play the game right now. We don't like it, but let's play the game. So then from there, it just started feeling like we were just,
something's not right.
Yeah, there's something not right. So then I got a phone call one day, anonymous call, and it just said, hey man, you need to check on the trademark, homie. The homie's trying to snag it from you. And then so I called Os and I'm like, dude, because this is like in the midst of the reunion. This is literally we still think he's our friend in a sense. We're like thinking everything's in on the up and up, because that's the way they're treating us. They're treating us like it's on the up and up, but there's certain little things that are not making sense. Like, okay, if he's throwing the show, then there's a certain amount we make. But if somebody hires us, we don't know the amount the group makes. So then we started finding out certain things that were like, wait a minute, that's Wade. Well, okay. So we were finding out that we were getting anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 for the group. Yeah. And he was pocketing a majority of that, let's just say about 80% of that, and then would give me and Los the 20. But like I said, us being family men, us being, you know, the people we are, we're biting it and saying, okay, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better. But you don't find these things out until later. It's kind of like when you find your girl cheating on you, and then you find out she's been cheating on you for your whole freaking relationship. That's exactly how it felt. It felt like, dang, homie, you lying to us in this situation just makes me think you were just using us to get the name. And when we went to the lawyer explained to us and said, look, this person does not want you guys to perform under MB Riders anymore. This person is claiming that they wrote all the music, that you had nothing to do with it. This person is saying that they dressed you for stage, showed you how to. Yes, this is what our lawyer is telling us. And then that you guys did no work on none of the albums except Supply Your Verses, which he was saying I controlled everything. So when our lawyers were looking into things, they were looking at all the discrepancies, and they were like, yo, man, this dude's he's not telling the truth. So look at how it ended up working.
And what he needed was evidence.
That he needed evidence that he was using the name.
That he was.
So he's like, let me use these guys, and then once I take the name, then I'm done.
Yeah.
So it's like, let me steal it from them, then they can never use it again, and I'll keep it for myself.
And if we decided to get booked, if we would have had that, he would have got a percentage of us even performing.
Yeah, so let's say we would have still performed. I think he was gonna make anywhere from 30 to 40% of what we made if we, because he's gonna lease the name to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not here to paint the bad picture. It's just, and I don't want to speak ill of the person, but it's just how you treated me. I don't have any other story to really tell. I could tell you some good things. I'll tell you one time when I got into some shit with some weed dealers and I had to fucking pay these motherfuckers back, Magic did cut me some money. I do remember that. Thank you, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, these motherfuckers were ready to come kick my door in. And I'm just saying, I can say that. I can say, you helped me out, bro. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But can you ever say thank you that we helped you to get where you needed to go? Because I don't think the people in the beginning saw that it was just you, my guy. I think it was all of us. We all put something into it. You know, I do remember 3 of us on the songs. I remember the 3 of us on stage. I remember the 3 of us coming up with ideas. Now, the workflow and the work duties were different, and that's what I started having to learn. So when I would get mad at Magic and say, well, why do you make 50% and then me and those make 25 and 25? Well, I don't understand. Why is it that way? I don't think he was able to explain it to me to where I could understand it, because it only looked like you why do you make more? And then he would explain it to me, and then I'd be like, okay, I get that part, but why on stage? Why for shows? Like, for shows, we should be splitting it 3 ways, bro. It shouldn't be 50, 25, 25. Just on shows. So
That's fucked
do
up.
you get where I'm coming from? And it's not like I'm complaining and I'm mad that none of this. But when the narrative is, I fed these guys, I paid these guys, I did this for these guys, it only hurts because it makes me feel like, wait a minute, when a promoter gets that money, he's locking in the group. He's not booking just you and you're bringing us as hype men.
Yeah.
He's booking all of us. So that means that's all our money. But because it goes to your checking account and you cash me out because it came from, you're the middleman and you give me and Los the check, that gives you the right to say you're feeding my family? No.
Yeah.
I'm feeding your family just as much as you're feeding mine, my guy. So when we hear these things on these interviews, it only hurts that's what you think of us. I just saw a new one today, and he was talking about how he was the one who thought of the idea, and that me and those were begging to do shows again. No, that's not what happened. People got tired of the same show, and they were like, "We want the real MB Riders," and it was a demand. So he kind of had to come and mess with me and those. And then the plot to steal the name. Of course, you needed to use us, so we came back. And like I said, brother, it hurts more than it really makes us angry, because it's like, why would you want to use us after we were already kind of mad at you in the beginning? Like, this is the chance for all of us to mend and be good to each other, and forbid bygones to bygones. Now we understand you're going to make more money if you're throwing the show. We're not going to be mad at you for that. It's just respect. But like, I'm going to tell you this, brother, and this is the honest truth. There's going to be people that are on this live that are going to be the ones, all their crybabies. They're this, they're that. I read all the comments that on every podcast that we've ever done. I've read every comment. How can I be or hating when I was part of that story, when I was part of it? And you're you're slandering my name, you're slandering our brand by saying that we stole the name. Do you understand? You're calling us thieves. And in the streets, that's like saying you got paperwork on you.
Yeah.
So you're putting a jacket on me by saying you're a thief. Now what happens? Promoters don't want to book us. Promoters are getting phone calls saying, hey, we're getting complaints that you guys don't own the name, that you guys can't perform the music. So these are the obstacles we've been going through for the last 3 years. We went through one in LA where they were wanting to really book us, but they got a phone call that we weren't allowed to use the name or use the music, like I just said. And literally our manager was on the phone with the promoter at the same time. I guess it was kind of like a three-way, but it was the other person couldn't hear nothing. So what happened was they were saying, oh, they can't use the name, da 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 da. And our manager sent all the registration, all the paperwork, and made that other person look like a liar, which really was.
So right now, we look at it like liars. It's like you have Team Magic, you have Team MB Riders. So what do you believe? You know what I'm saying? But we got the proof and all that. And that's what's cool about it. But people are starting to see now. They're like,
They're starting to notice a difference.
Yeah,
There's a difference between us.
And real talk, he's not what everybody thinks he is. He's really not, man. And I put that deeply on my son, man. That I mean, I had this dude's bag like crazy.
Yeah, you did.
And for him to do all those bad things to us and make my kids or my family look stupid in this podcast. You know, my kids are watching all these podcasts and, Dad, why do you keep talking like that about you? Why do you? And I go, you're not like he's gonna let him. I go, it's okay. I'll see him. He's gonna remember me. But you know what, bro? I just rather move on already and prove to myself that we can still move on without it, man. We have for the past 3 years. 98, we've done over 300 shows, brother. 98% of our shows have been sold out.
Oh, yeah.
Just MB Riders. I mean, he has to take our homie with like a lot of love for Bash and Rob. They're carrying him right now. If it wasn't for them,
That's what I feel like.
Magic wouldn't be having these shows. They need the Bash. He needs the Rob for them to have these successful shows.
I think the best way I can explain this one is this: if we were literally three real brothers, like real brothers, Magic would be the oldest, okay, and then I would be the brother that is always testing. Like why? Like I'd be the younger brother that always tests them. I wanna test you, question you. Los had a better relationship with Magic. I think that's why it hurt Los a lot more when this whole thing happened because of the relationship they had. See, as for my relationship with MC Magic, I always got to say it was business because I never went to birthday parties. I never went to family gatherings and Christmases and things like that. These guys actually would.
And he was
and when
the godfather of your child, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like seeing them get that close. I mean, it was a weird transition because, like I said, me and Los had always been close, but I saw him get in a like, you know how when they say you got homies and then you got family, like you got friends that are like family, you treat them different. Well, that's what I started seeing with Los and Magic. Like they were getting tight, and I felt like the third wheel in a sense sometimes. But I understood it. They grind together. They were on the road together. They were sleeping in hotels, like in cars, trying to get their hustle on during the time of the transition between MB Riders and or Nasty Boy Click and MB Riders. So these guys had a tighter relationship, which means they bonded. They took care of each other's families. They go do things together. And I think that's what hurts the most, bro, is that we were a family at one time. Now I kind of already knew my big brother was like that. So that's what made me stay away from him. It was more like I know who you are. I'll still be myself to you, but I'm not gonna get emotionally involved with you in the sense of I got like I love you, dog. You're my best friend. No, I'm never gonna do that with that homie, and I never did. And I think that's why we bumped heads so much, because I'm a Leo, and I smell bullshit from across the room, homie. And I used to always say I smell bullshit. And to be honest, that's kind of what really broke up the group in the beginning was just me asking why. Why do you make more? And when I got the answer was, well, this is why, and you need to do this in order to make more. So me and Los started both making those steps to do more, pay for more, do more things. So when the success of Nasty Boy Click, I mean, MBWriters.com, when the next album that never happened after that, that was when I asked, hey, well, can we split the pie three ways? Because the album's not even recorded yet. This is our budget. Yeah. And that's kind of what started the whole thing of him saying, I'm done with you guys. You guys just keep wanting more and more and more. And it was like, look, man, it's not that we want more. It's just we want ours. That's it. Yeah. It's nothing else but that. Ours, not it has nothing to do with you. It's like we understand if you produce the whole record, then of course you're gonna make more money. That's only right. But if the album's not produced, then we don't even know the percentage of what you're gonna put in. So why don't we just cut it three ways so that we can say we all put in the same effort? And then I think that's when Dos finally really saw the side of him that was like, wait a minute, I see another side of you that I didn't see, and I think that's when it really hurt him. But after that, and we had that break, we all went our different ways. Dos started a basketball league with his kids, and he was taking kids off the streets and mentoring and doing beautiful things, man, in the community. Me, I was still on the road traveling, trying to just keep my name alive, waving the little MB Rider flag when I could, and trying to just keep it alive. And for somebody to say, oh, these guys weren't doing anything in the last years, and then all of a sudden they come decide that they wanted to steal the name from me. No, homie, you've been making moves, putting obstacles in front of us so we can never eat. Now, I could tell you more stories that'll only make the person just look awful. And that's the last thing I want, because I know he has fans, and I'm not trying to persuade fans to, oh, well, come love us. No. If you're a fan of MB Riders, then you should be a are all part of my life. Like, we could have had that. But now defending us because these people believe that narrative. Oh, these guys, oh, I can't believe they're like that. They stole from Magic. Oh, this and that. Oh, man, F those dudes. They ain't nobody. They're has-beens. Where have you ever heard of them? They suck. They this. It hurts, bro, when you hear that your legacy is just getting torn down like that. And then you're allowing people to do that. That's not cool. Like I hold the MB Rider brand, and I know my brother does very, very proudly. I don't shit on the name. And if you shit on the name, that means you ain't proud of it. I've heard plenty of times come out of this other person's mouth that MB Riders is nothing without him. There's no more MB Riders. That's what was told in Salt Lake City. We're getting fans that are telling us at the show he was announcing, there's no MB Riders anymore. Like, why? Are you hurt with us? Because as a man, you could come to us and be like, look, dog, I'm hurt because of this. But you can't hide the fact that we caught you lying to us and trying to steal the name. That's the whole reason why you don't see us three together right now, bro. That's real talk. Is because you were lying to us and trying to steal the name from us. There's no other gossip, no other rumor. Nobody slept with nobody's wife. Nobody beat each other up. Nobody did nothing except just stand up for ourselves. So when these people hear this interview and they hear all the other interviews with this guy, this is the actual factual truth. This is the reason why we're not together. We didn't want to X them out of the group. We thought we were going to keep going and do the reunions. But,
it's better. That's right.
Yeah. High five, bro.
Hey, so what's next, man?
Talk about the new single, man. Let's talk about the new single.
Just the future of music, bro. We're just going to keep making records and keep trying to stay relevant, do shows, make sure that we give the fans an experience. Artist development, hopefully soon,
Right now, our new single's doing really good.
Yes.
I'll Trust featuring Big Gemini, and it's doing amazing. And we're so proud of it right now. Actually, that's pretty much happening for us right now.
Yeah, because we're pushing it independently, bro.
Oh, right.
I do feel like we have the capability to be self-sufficient as an independent group.
Yeah.
Like a Tech Nine, Tech Nine, the rapper, that dude comes in, he owns the stage, he owns the trucks, he owns the venues, he owns everything. And I think one day we're gonna be self-sufficient where we literally drive in and have our stage put up and we're throwing our own shows. But right now, we want to give shout outs to all the promoters that are taking a chance on us. Any other promoters that want to get a hold of us, you can hit us on all our platforms, all our Instagrams, Facebooks. Our manager is named Roxy, 520-414-8290. Any bookings, we do personal bookings. We're
already booking for next year because this year we're booked.
Yeah, this year we're booked all the way through. So next year,
yeah.
we're already going to 2027, 1,000. No, just But man, we do really thank you guys for letting us be able to speak, bro, because it's therapy in a sense, man. Because that was trauma what we went through, and we didn't understand that. We really didn't figure that out until later on when we were going through it and sitting back saying to myself, man, why am I almost homeless and eating ramen noodles and this dude's over here having steak and lobster? There's something wrong with this picture. So when I started figuring out, okay, because the thing is if you feel like money and fame is like you got that over on me, the weird part about that is like as long as I'm feeding my family at my house and my lights and everything are on and everything's good, then at the end of the day, I'm already a millionaire, homie. We've already succeeded. We've already been on radio. We've already done shows in front of millions of fans. Collectively, we've been all around the world. It's icing on the cake from here, my guy. You get what I'm saying? Like we've already lived the dream. It's just us trying to not so much rekindle, but kind of just remind people, hey, you know what? We're still here. We're still making music. And we're proud of the artists that are coming out. You know, Mexican OT. I'm proud of him, man. I saw that coming. Texas's own. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. A lot of artists that are going to be coming out. You know.
That's for sure. Hell yeah, man. And if you're in the Corpus Christi area, the South Texas area, make sure you hit up the Tejano Bash, man, in Beeville, Texas, October 4th and 5th. I don't know what day y'all are performing on, but I'm looking at the flyer right now, and it's at the.
I think we're on the 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
On the 4th, yeah. At the Expo Center in Beeville, Texas, man.
I know we're gonna be in McAllen. I know Houston. I think Corpus too. Corpus in there.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, that's the one, right? Okay. So yeah, we'll be.
Yeah, hey,
We'll be
y'all
so,
come to Corpus, man. Y'all gotta tap in with us, man, so we can sit down, man. Actually kick back, smoke some.
Oh yeah, bro. Let's do it like a small little sit down interview, bro, and then we'll be able to, you know, hopefully present you guys a new single by then. But we just want to say right now, thank you so much for having us, brother. We got another interview we're gonna get ready to do.
For sure. Thank y'all for being on, man. Hey, y'all keep striving, man. Y'all keep doing y'all's best shit, bro. I'm glad that y'all over that hump that y'all were on, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I nothing but success, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, when I'm out there, I'm gonna come bless you with some of that Arizona sunshine. You know what I'm talking about? Hello.
Come through, man. Come through.
and make sure you all download every platform trust and go check out the video too, man.
Yes, my name's Zigzag. My boy Dos, and we are NB Riders.
All right, man. Hell yeah, man. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, bud.
It's your boy, DJ Lil King, Droopy M. Shout out to the NB Riders for joining us tonight, man.